Welcome to Networking Arizona with host Carol Blonder. You'll hear interviews with businesses located throughout the valley. Networking, it makes a difference.
If I traded it all.
Welcome to the show, everyone. And as you all know, I made it possible to talk on the radio about yourself. Who doesn't like to do that? So if you want to get yourself heard on the air, give me a call. My number is 602-277-5369. I'm going to go in right with networking right away. I cannot wait to bring my next guest on, or my first guest on, I should say, who's been on with me how many times now? A couple of times now. Mm-hmm. And her name is Amie Mendoza, and she is the owner of the Amie Mendoza law firm. Mm-hmm. And today you're going to talk about, the last time you were here, we talked about a story that just was incredible. So we want to do it again, but it's a different type of story. It's all about you. Yeah. And I'm excited about that. Welcome back to the show.
Right, because who doesn't love to talk about themselves?
Exactly.
Carol?
So you get to talk about yourself right now. I'm so excited about that.
Yeah. Well, you know, I'm starting a new business venture, and I'm really excited to be able to talk about that today. It's something that I haven't really spoken about yet. It's on the brink, so this is exciting breaking news for everyone.
Right here on Networking Arizona. So tell me about it.
Well, you know, I work with a lot of small business owners in my law work, and what I run across is a feeling of chaos and worry and fear and kind of spinning in heads for the new business owner. They're worried about the next client and where the next, bills are going to get paid from and how things are going to happen. And really, they have a lopsided relationship most times with time, money, and how they get paid.
You know, you're mentioning new business, and I'm sitting here thinking about that. I've been in business now for almost 9 years with this. I feel the same way. Does it really matter whether or not it's a new business person? Because what you're teaching to me, when I read what you had talked a little bit about, just about you, could resonate with anyone.
Sure. No,
okay. I just want to get that out there.
Yeah. And that's great. Thanks for bringing that up, Carol. You just expanded my market for me.
Exactly. There you go. I just did that on purpose.
You're wonderful. No, it really is true for anyone. And the process that I have, that I'm talking about today, that's really a beautiful thing, that I use to get into the right relationship with time, money, and how I get paid. Is something that I go through or should go through every 6 to 12 months over and over again, because it's a cycle. Your needs change, your desires change, and how you want to get paid changes. And
more money.
Yeah, you should. Maybe. Oddly enough, people will go through the process and decide that they actually don't want the amount of money they thought they wanted to begin with. And that's because we oftentimes think work first, family and friends second, ourselves third, and if we have time for ourselves, we'll come third. Mm-hmm. And that's the wrong relationship. It really should be the other way around. There should be some self-care first, family and friends second, and then work last. And if you know the concept of putting on your own oxygen mask before you put it on for the children in the airplane. Mm-hmm. Well, you've got to do that with your business too.
And we don't.
If you don't,
look
then
at me. You can tell. I mean, it's true.
Chaos. Maybe I'll take you through the process, Carol.
We should. But that's the point here.
Yes.
Is that I want you to also tell them about your story too.
Sure.
But you also have a giveaway that I want to give out, and I want trying and kind of in just a little bit before we get to your story, because that has to go first. Just talk a little bit about what it is that this particular thing that you're giving away and how it will help. Mm-hmm. Go ahead.
Well, we spend a lot of time, I think, in this process of the chaos, the fear, the worry, and wanting to manifest. We hear a lot about vision boards and visualize your success and you'll get there. And that's very great, and everybody should be doing that. But where's the practical application? Where's the tool that actually gets you to the end game of what you want to manifest? That's what this does.
And it's called?
It's called the Money Map.
Okay, but this is a free tool. It's basically a tool that is going to help you, and everyone's going to get it. And I love that, because I know that a lot of people, we say things, we keep it on our mind, we never write it down. This is something, is that kind of thing, that this is going to give them a tool to actually be able to not just visualize it, but actually make it come into fruition. Is that the tool?
Absolutely. Yeah. It's more than vision boarding. It's a strategic vision board at the end. And it's about a 6 to 12 week process. You go through, you identify what you really, really, really want.
So it's not a hammer. I said that to you before you came on. I want everybody to understand when I say it's a free tool, it's not a hammer. It's something that's going to help you. And I'm going to say that it's not just going to be, and I'm doing this just because, it is not just for the new business owner, But any business owner, we all some of us, most of us actually don't do that.
Correct.
So let's just give it to everybody, okay?
Yeah.
And our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Everyone is going to get this. And if it's not you and you don't think you need it, give it to someone who you know is in business or starting one. Anybody can use it. Mm-hmm. Okay. So let's talk about your story.
Sure. So, I actually used what I'm talking about today to get into my right relationship because things were a little bit chaotic for me. You know, I started my career in technology, actually, before I became a lawyer. I was working 60-hour weeks and climbing the ladder. I was Miss Corporate America and thought that the best thing for me to do was to climb that ladder, make more money, because the harder you work, the more success you have, and society's definition of success is the right thing, right? And that means hard work. That's the only answer, right? Well, I started law school in that career as a leader in technology and started going to law school 4 nights a week, working through law school work on the weekends, working my 60-hour-a-week job. And my body decided that that was not what I wanted to do anymore. My mind thought that was the right thing, and that was a sustainable way of living. Mm-hmm. But my body said no, and my body gave me cancer as a result of that. Excessive, stressed out, chaotic work-life balance. Was I making great money? Absolutely. Sure. I was making, $150,000, $170,000 a year, easy peasy, had the bank account full, and had a completely stressed and chaotic lifestyle. I was what I like to call a slave with a white collar. Mm-hmm. So every breakdown as a result of chaos eventually leads to a breakthrough of sorts. And for me, the breakthrough was actually cancer, looking back at it. It is what made me redefine my relationship with my work and what it was that I was going to be doing. So I decided I would leave the corporate world and I wouldn't come out of law school and go back and be an intellectual property attorney or a technology attorney. And then instead I would focus my practice on estate planning and trying to calm the fears of those who were left in that spot that I was left in of not knowing what would happen if something happened to me. So I built my law firm. But I still had no clue how to run a business. And I still had no clue what the right relationship with time, money, and how I get paid is. So when I started my law firm, it was a great step and a great breakthrough, but it was not the answer that I needed to get into the right relationship with time, money, and how I got paid. So what does that lead to? Well, more chaos and more confusion and more where's my next client going to come from, and more compromising myself by taking clients that I shouldn't have and cases that I shouldn't have, and working with people that I didn't want to work with in the name of work hard because that's how you make it. I hadn't restructured that alignment, and I spent all of my time on my business and none of my time on myself again. And here I was. Oh my gosh, my business is going to fail. I was making $40,000 a year, barely making ends meet, and thought that I was supposed to be happy in this new business, and I totally wasn't. So as all breakdowns and chaos do, this worry, this fear, and this craziness led me then to discovering this process of the money map.
Okay. Let's go. If you have a minute to go to the break, I just wanted to let you know that because I do want to hear the story. But go ahead.
Yeah. Well, so as this next breakthrough came about, I was able to uncover this process to get me into the right relationship with time, money, and how I get paid. So I could strategically plan. And within 1 year of implementing this process in my life, I took my business from a $40,000 a year chaotic business that I ran by myself to a business where I have employees and I'm making almost $200,000 a year in the business, and it's beautiful.
I love that. We're going to go to a break. We're going to come back. We're going to talk further of how you can help people do that. Our lines are open here, and everyone's getting the free tool. We're calling it at that. It's not a hammer. It is to help you grow your business the correct way. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Everybody should listen up to this.
If I traded it all if I gave it all away for one thing.
Welcome back. So we're talking with Amie Mendoza, and I'm so excited about what you're doing and how you are teaching, because, you know, it's a wonderful thing. A beautiful thing is what you said earlier.
It is.
And what's nice about it is that, you know, there's a lot of people out there that make money.
Yeah.
And they're not willing. You know, they're all happy. They're all excited, and they just go off into the, you know, sunset or whatever. But it's nice that you are sharing this. And what we're doing is, you have a tool. Again, I want you to quickly say what that is, because I want to finish up on how you can help them too. But what that is, that everybody's getting it. Our numbers here are open for everybody to get. Go ahead.
It's a tool that will help you find more clarity in your relationship with time, money, and how you get paid.
Right. Your relationship with business. And again, this is if for you or someone that you know. And I believe that everybody should listen up, because it doesn't matter if you're a new business owner or not. We all know that we lack in this area. It is the one thing we put off to the side, but it could definitely help you grow your business. It will. So listen up, everybody. And our number here is 602-277-5369. And toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Go ahead.
Well, I want to talk about the people that really need this work. Because I'm so passionate about getting this work out into the world. And I want to ask some questions, or pose some questions maybe to the audience about why they should pursue investigating this relationship with time, money, and how they get paid. If there's anybody who feels like their relationship with their work is lopsided at all, this might be something they'd want to learn more about.
I'm already years old, you know, and all ears, I mean.
Well,
I said it wrong.
let me ask you then, in the last 3 days, what percentage of your time and mental energy has gone to worrying about money, wondering if you're using your time well, and uncertain about the next steps?
Well, I would say part of that is definitely 80%.
Yeah.
Everybody's worried about money, slow time sometimes right now especially. Everybody, in terms of how you use it, I think I use my time wisely, very wisely, so that I'm not one on that one. I think that's not something I have to think about that much. But the other one was what?
Uncertain about next steps.
Next steps. But I make choices. I think about those choices, but not everybody does. Most people don't.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
What can you imagine would be possible if any of that 80% was freed up?
Everything. Right? You know, if you had that burden not lifted off of you, right? That's what it's all about.
Yeah.
Like, you know, my dad used to say, when there's money in the bank, you don't care, right? Right. So go ahead. Everybody's laughing right now. Go ahead.
And a lot of us do care. When there's money in the bank, it's still there, right?
It depends on what your needs are.
Right.
Right.
And if you don't know what those needs are, then where are you?
Right.
This tool will help you figure out what those needs are. A really great question to get people to understand what this work would do for them is to ask, in the past 30 days, have you compromised yourself for work at all? So if you have compromised yourself for work at all, took a client you didn't want to take,
No. I'm not like that.
You never do,
No.
Carol.
You
never
know
do.
that. Right.
Yeah.
Okay.
But many people do. So this is the work for them. And the struggling new business owner is typically the one who finds themselves in that situation.
Well, we all find ourselves. I mean, not to say in 9 years it hasn't happened. So go ahead.
Yeah. What if you could redirect any energy you spend in wonder and worry into creating exactly what you want in your life?
Repeat that.
What if you could redirect the energy that you spend in worry and confusion and wonder?
I'd be a very happy camper.
Exactly.
Okay.
Do you know what happy is for you?
Yes.
What is it?
Well, I mean, there's a lot of things. So I got to be careful, you know, because I'm on the air. I'm, every day, all the time. So, but what is it for you? Let's do it that way. Let me ask you a question.
Happiness. That's great, Carol. Thank you. Happiness for me is working 20-ish hours a week on my business while it's running itself, and while I can spend time with my little guy who's 5 and my husband and enjoy our time together. Happiness for me is not a mansion. Happiness for me is a nice house with a pool on the golf course, and it's small. And happiness for me is not having to worry about where the next thing is going to come from.
Right. And I think that would be everybody out there listening could relate to that. Go ahead. And I want to give our number out for everybody to get the tool. It's 602-277-5369. Everyone gets it. Go ahead.
That's really all I would say, Carol, is that people need to understand that if there is a lopsided relationship, if you're putting work before yourself, if you're unsure about where your next clients are going to come from, if you don't know how to package and price your services, those are the things that need to be defined, and this is the process to do it with.
So let's talk about the tool.
Yeah.
Okay, because that's really what this is all about. You got the tool is it, right? So let's talk about it. What I mean, you said it was like 12 pages, whatever. I don't remember exactly. What does it consist of?
This tool is going to walk you through a systematic way of defining what it is that you really, really want. So you start there because a lot of people, to be honest with you, have not thought through that.
Right. Write it down, make it happen.
Right.
Go
What
ahead.
do you really want? What kind of home do you really want? What does it look like? There's an element of visualization that goes along with that process. And there's also an element of practicality with putting the number down on the paper. So what is your minimum? Let's take a home, for example. First question is your house. What's your minimum to be happy home look like? Does it have 5 bedrooms? Is it 3? Does it have a pool? Is it in California? Is it in Arizona?
They say to write everything down. Don't scrimp and scrape on anything. Whatever your vision is, write it down. Go ahead.
And what's the difference between the minimum to be happy that you need, your preferred if you could afford it, your no limits, and your right now? And once you know those 4 areas for every part of your life, even down to like cell phone, I want to pay this much minimum to be happy every month on my cell phone. But if I was doing what I preferred, if I could afford it, I'd get that new 6S or whatever. iPhone should pay me for that. If it was no limits, I would have XYZ. And if I'm looking at my right now, I know exactly what I have.
And after that, what else? On the in the tool, on the pages.
Once you get through defining what it is you want, then you put in how much does that cost in each of those 4 categories. And once you get through that, you move on to time.
I'll tell you something. If anyone hasn't heard those words I just said, which was write it down, make it happen. It's a book. I've read it. I don't know about you, but it's a book. And this is the tool, it sounds to me, to help you do something like that.
Yeah.
Which I love because I don't know if anybody out there would agree with this. I like something that'll help me do it. I can't, I love people that say, write it in a journal, get a journal and start writing. I sit down and my mind goes blank. This is something that obviously gives you those things to look at, to ask yourself, and then to be able to write it down and see it. Is that correct?
Absolutely. And I'm going to be introducing some programs where I'll help people go through if they need some extra help. So you'll be able to do this on your own if you want, and that's fine. And if you are like me and you don't do things well on your own and you need somebody to guide you through, then I'll be able to offer that as well.
Okay, so our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. Should we put the website out so they can check you out? Does that have any of the information yet? I know this is all new for you.
It's not.
Okay, so we're going to get that out there next time you're on.
Yeah.
But really, this is all about you guys really out there. If you're listening to this, if you own a business, whether you're a new business owner or not, this is something can I just tell you something? This honestly, even though you're talking about business and how it will grow, there's many parts of this that would work just for anybody.
Absolutely. And that's where it all starts. Because if it doesn't start with you, then your business will fail for sure. So it's absolutely about the person and taking care of yourself.
Well, what are some of your final words for today?
I would say that I would encourage everybody to check out the tool or call and get on the list to hear more about it. If you're at all curious and if you at all feel like there's a little bit of realignment that you need to do with regard to your relationship with time, money, and how you get paid, this is the best place to do it. If you want clarity, really this tool gives you clarity and takes that, woo-woo manifestation visualization part, which I've got. I have that part, but puts a practical structure around it to actually implement it.
Now, before the break, we were talking, and I was saying how so many women probably tend to resignate. Obviously, with this. And I want to just for a second before you leave, just talk about how men should do it. I mean, there are men out there that do today. There are more than ever, but talk to them too right now.
I mean, this is really for anyone. If we think specifically about men who need this program, it's so many more than women who need this program. Women realize the need for this program. And that's the first step. You got to be willing to do the work. That's what they always say, right?
The best thing to do is to call. Do you do free consultations with people?
I would love to talk to anybody about this.
So the thing is that you should call here, get connected with her so that you can get it and look at it, male or female, because it is something that will help you grow your business and help you have a fulfilled life. Is that correct?
That's right.
Okay. Well, I'm looking forward to hopefully having you back again with us. Our number here is 602-277-5369. Toll free, it's 1-866-536-1100. I'm going to let everybody call throughout the rest of the show for this. Again, if you don't think it's for you, get it for someone that you know. It's awesome. So 602-277-5369.